Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca in case you're seeing it somewhere else. If you're interested in a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Let's go ahead and get into your selection. Hello, Pisces. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Pisces? Something coming in fast. You got the 8 of Wands right off the bat. Something coming in really fast. Something that you want. Okay, good things. We like good things. Good things are good. So, stay engaged. Stay connected with it. Are you... It's very grounded, whatever it is. Whatever it is, it makes sense. Like, this isn't just like a fantasy. This isn't just a thought. This is something that really makes sense in your life. Somewhere you're wanted somewhere. And it feels good. Take it with a grain of salt. These are general readings, of course. It does feel good, though. Okay, we like that. Acceptance. Somebody wants you to be a part of something. There's a good energy here. I don't know why I want to go so slow with it, but maybe it seems like it's been going on for a while, or maybe this is something that you have connected with, but it's been a while. This is almost like I met somebody a year ago, and I really haven't thought about them since, and then all of a sudden now things are coming back in again. And it's like, oh, I wasn't thinking of that. And it doesn't have to be like romance. It could be like a work situation or some type of opportunity where I thought something was going to go on here, and then it just didn't seem to happen. And I thought, okay, that's fine. But now it's starting to show up again. It could be something like that. It's my cat. He's reprimanding me for not giving him his treats, which I will give to him after this reading. You put in the effort to something and it just didn't seem to go anywhere. But I don't feel like there was any hard feelings, just something didn't move forward. And it was like, all right, I guess it's not. There was this in the past where there was a connection, and then it just didn't seem to go anywhere, is what I keep getting. Because it seems to be coming back later. It doesn't have to be a full year, it could be a couple months, could be more or less time, but there's something where there's a connection from the past, and it's like, I feel like you put effort in, and it just didn't take flight. It just didn't get off the ground. There may have been some stress with that, because I'm getting the hiccups. So I don't want to like play it down like it didn't bother you at all. But it may be one of those things where, all right, I tried, it just didn't seem to go anywhere, and you had to go in a different direction. And you're like, I guess it's not, then it's not. It seems that Pisces energy I'm connecting to, and I'm saying this as a Pisces, it just seemed like, well, all right, then it's not. It just, sometimes we just switch gears and we're like, I guess I'll just go this other direction for now, or I'll just focus my energy somewhere else because this doesn't seem to be working. I don't see anything negative there, though. I see kind of like maybe some disappointment. Maybe. It doesn't seem very intense. But now, very quickly, very, very quickly, something is coming in. Something is coming in. It's meant to come in the way it is. It's fine. But this is a positive connection, especially for Pisces. Sometimes it's referred to as the Cancer card. It doesn't have to be. But Cancer is also a water sign. You're a water sign. Compatible with your energy. It talks about loyalty. It talks about honest connections. Like, do we really match? Is this really, are we like, it doesn't mean we're best friends off the bat, but like, does this really make sense? This is somebody giving an honest effort, and it just seems to be coming in very quickly. I keep getting that it makes sense. I don't know why I have to keep saying it that way. Like, something about this that's kind of like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So whatever reason it's returning now, I feel like you can find an angle where you're like, okay, this makes sense for whatever reason. Take it with a grain of salt. Readings are for entertainment purposes only. I don't know what you're going through. Because, like, I'm suspicious of that. Like, are we justifying something? Or is it really... I don't know. I get that it makes sense. I keep getting that it makes sense. And that, like, there's no reason to not give it a chance. I don't see, like, red flags or anything like that. I'm not seeing red flags. Pay attention for that, though. If you see one, do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Don't accept a red flag. An offer is coming your way. Okay. Offer is coming your way. That's odd. Okay. So I got the Two of Pentacles reversed. Oh, they're stuck. The other side is stuck. Something about the other side being stuck. Things are adding up in the right way for the situation to get a fair chance. I almost feel like the energy I'm connecting to is saying, step back. Let this see what really connects. Give this a chance. This could be, you got to do what you think is right. It's a general reading. This could be doing the right thing for the wrong reason type of thing. Doing the right thing for the wrong reason. I don't know. You have to do what you think is right. I kind of am getting that here, though. It's almost like you're getting an opportunity because I feel like somebody's like, well, I feel like I'm stuck. And Pisces might be able to fix this. So, I'm not saying that's fair. I'm saying this as a Pisces because I'm like, I don't know. I've had moments where it's kind of like people have told me afterwards that they really weren't sure I was a good idea until they actually got to know me. And then they were very thankful that they gave me this opportunity. They're like, oh, you were the perfect fit. It's just, whatever. I know that I'm the type of person can be kind of difficult to get to know sometimes. So at this point in my life, I don't take it as offensive. But you decide what's right for you. Because sometimes people have to warm up and get to know you before they realize that you were the right choice all along. Sometimes that takes a minute. All right, so I don't know how that, I don't know how that sounds on your end, whoever's listening to this, but just got to give it like it's coming, you know what I mean? Because I'm getting, as things keep moving forward, you do seem, you're accepted. Things that you are wanted there. And you do show that you were the right connection fairly quickly. This shows up on your side. Like when I'm saying like the right choice for the wrong reason, you're gonna figure that out. You're gonna figure that out. There's a moment here where you could let that get under your skin. Maybe because I am a Pisces, I can understand these moments. Maybe. I don't know, because it's like, it can get tied up in your brain. And you have a choice just to keep soldiering on forward like it doesn't matter. And you can keep it to yourself. I wouldn't recommend that, but you got to do what you think is right. I don't know if that's going to be the best outcome for you. Another possibility is to get out there and kind of go and just kind of talk about it a little bit. Kind of like, yeah, you know, it seems like I only got this chance because of that. I hope that people understand that, you know, I am the right fit for this, and I do feel like I do what I'm supposed to here. I feel like I am a viable part. I feel like if you start conversations with people, they will tell you the truth. That there were reasons that they were holding back or whatever, and then afterwards, once you fit in and once you seem to click into the situation, they realize that you were the right choice all along. It could heal the situation. It could. The world is filled with a lot of different personalities, Take that with a grain of salt. You know, be choosy who you talk about. Talk about? Talk to. Be choosy who you talk about as well. And be careful what you say. I don't know what that's about. Be choosy who you talk about. It does seem like there's a point I said that for a reason. So, like, if you're worried about how other people see you, I would kind of, like, get it from the horse's mouth. If you wanted to ask, you know, if you want to start a conversation and see what a specific person thought of you, and you want their opinion, that's good. I feel like that's good. But if you're trying to understand how somebody else views you through like a third party, I think that's what they're going. That's why we had the be careful who you talk about. Like, be careful with that. I wouldn't do that. I just would be careful. You have the chance to move forward and get a lot better situations here. You got prosperity, but talking to the right you got to talk to the right person. Be careful who you talk with. Be careful who you talk about. Because this can go better for you. This seems like it's a good situation anyway, but there might be like this little stumbling block, like, oh, they didn't really want me to begin with, but they just decided to give me a chance for whatever reason. But then they realize you were the right choice the whole time. And then working that out and talking that out and finding out, you know, why you really do fit. Just being very selective who and what you talk about. Be very careful. Finding the right mentor there. I don't know if I've showed this. Like, you got really good connections here. People want you here. They do want you here. I don't know if it's a Pisces thing. I tend to think it is. Sometimes we come off as very disconnected or almost uninterested from what I understand. And it's not that that's the case. It's just that Pisces have that hot cold thing. We can be very in and very warm and affectionate, or so cold they're like, do you have a pulse? You know, I'm saying this as a Pisces. Because people have said that to me. They're like, oh, I'm surprised. I thought I was going to have to put a mirror under your nose to see if you were alive. I'm like, all right, thanks. But, you know, we can be very, very cold and we can be very, very warm. We have different levels we can handle that with. So they might tell you the truth. It may not be the most flattering, but the truth you can do something with. And if you think of it, at least for me as a Pisces, I'm aware that I can shut off emotionally, especially if I'm not happy. I mean, I know it's there. So for me it is anyway. I'm a Pisces, but you know, you have your own flavor of Pisces. It moves on fairly quickly. It may bother you, be careful. But it does move on very quickly. I'm a big fan of Paul McKenna. How to Mend Your Broken Heart. It's geared towards romantic relationships, but you can use it for any type of relationship, like business, whatever. I use those exercises to not let myself mess with myself, if that helps. There's also exercises in that book to help you not think about things you don't want to think about, if you follow me on that. Because I'm getting that, like, this time is going to move on pretty quickly. You are accepted, and they want you to realize that you are accepted. When you see certain things, it may just stick in your head, and it may just keep playing. It can make things a lot more difficult for you than they need to be. It would make sense why it does. Again, I'm saying this as a Pisces. I can understand. I've been down that road, and I know why I felt the way I felt. And it's kind of like, I've also seen the flip side of it, where I've kind of got a little bit too deep in my own thoughts. I had an review. I've been at this company for a few years, and I had a review. And they gave me a really good review, and I just, for some reason, I said, oh, wow, I didn't even think you liked me. And because they gave me good, at the end of it, I was like, oh, wow, I didn't even think you liked me. And I was like, part of my brain was like, why did you vocalize that? But they also looked very shocked. They're like, I don't know why you thought that. I think because I got caught up in my own brain, thinking things were the way they were, even though Pisces are very sensitive, and we can get very caught up in things. I don't know. I feel like for those of you that's going to make sense with, you know what I'm talking about. Whatever the situation is, it's going to get deeper. A contract comes out of nowhere that you're not expecting. This can be a very beautiful connection. This has potential for long-term connection, long-term contracts. If this turns out to be a romance thing, in my opinion, this is a romance. This is a marriage card or some version of that. Long-term commitment. This is a long-term commitment card, in my opinion. It's a contract card, in my opinion, that keeps moving and keeps flourishing. Are we good? I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.